bastards, but I don't want to say bastards, but the greedy bastards. Like stacks of gold bars in a cavern. It's kind of late in the day. I had just left, or I just loaded up, fixing to leave. It's pretty early this morning. And I had a friend of mine that came by. I hadn't seen for like, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 years, and he hasn't been down here for more years than that. And since like I think they decided from 1998 to about 2000 and had to be about 16, I guess. He came to my place, my farm. I had a farm down by Rincon, and he came, and him and I roped together for years. I had an arena there and steers and everything. And he came by to see us. He's been in poor health for the last few years, so it was good that he came by. I had loaded up and everything and was going to head up here to... This is a different place. I don't know if any of you guys have been watching on TV, or I think it's on Discovery Channel, the Discovery Channel. They've been doing a series. It's called Gold, Blood, and Videotapes.
We had no doubt whatsoever in our minds that it was gold.
And that treasure hunting, I studied about that a lot back in the mid 80s, 90s, and everything, about old Doc Noss and Victorio Peak and Soledad Canyon, all this country. And I'm probably only about 15 or 20 miles from that peak right here. This is the very northern edge of what is called the White Sands Missile Range. And I've never rode this country, and I've heard guys talk about it before. You can get up here and you can get right on the edge of the missile range, and you can ride the ridge across. So I'm kind of late. I don't know how far I'll get, but I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna ride up this canyon. It's all new to me, so I don't know much about it, and I'm gonna try to get up on top. And then once I get up on top, I'll decide which way I'm gonna go. So I went ahead and brought Ruth, the pack mule, and just because I don't know if there's any water or anything in here, and I don't know what we'll get into. So, Agnes got an ear pinch. I got old Big Agnes, and I got a bunch of my dogs. So it's late in the day. It's already like after lunch, but I can ride for a few hours, show you guys the countryside, so you can see what it looks. And if you get a chance, get on there and watch that. It's real interesting. I mean, it's like stacks of gold bars in a cavern. But what interests me is you can't get in there. I mean, the missile range, and they keep it pretty well guarded. They watch, because there's treasure hunters trying to get in there all the time. But supposedly old Doc Noss, and I think I mentioned this in another video, but supposedly old Doc Noss, he could only carry so much out of that cavern at a time. So these bars are, some of them weighed like 35 pounds, some of them weighed 65 pounds. And they're supposed to be stacked like cordwood in there. Anyway, he could only get one out at a time, 1 or 2 out at a time. And he would take them out. And at that time, I guess it still is, it's illegal to own that much gold. So, and he didn't really know what to do with it. So he would carry it out, and he would stash it in different places out through here. And he would stash, 3 or 4 bars at a time in different places. And there's some guys, if you watch that video, there's some guys that attest to it that say, yeah, I was with him. But what happened was he got shot and killed. I mean, they shot his partner. Supposedly they had a disagreement or something. You'll have to watch the movie to decide what's true. And shot and killed him. That part is true. He was shot and killed. But before he was shot and killed, he went and changed the locations of where he had hid that gold so nobody would know about it. So his partner that supposedly double-crossed him, or he double-crossed him or something like that, or he went and moved the gold and hid it in some different places. So there's supposed to be several places out here where that gold is hidden. So I don't know. I ride around, I look, and I see if there's any, telltale marks, anything that's out of place, anything that looks like there might be something hid, a rock out of place or something like that. I don't know. It's fun. Anyway, let me saddle these mules up. Onward and upward. Let's find the gold. Okay, so you retired. Now what? It's harder to get out of the habit of thinking about business and doing, going to work and what you got to take care of than you think. I talked earlier about kind of the guilt that you feel, but then after the guilt, you kind of think, what do I do? In my mind, I know what I want to do, but sometimes it's hard to get in the rhythm of thinking that's all I got to do is what I want. I have, and it's not all. I'm not completely retired. I've got a young man. He's an engineer. He's really, really smart, and he's taking care of things. And he's doing a lot better job than I could have ever done. He just, he has the education. He doesn't have the experience or the knowledge that I have in the business, but he's a real hard worker, and he loves it. I mean, he loves the thought of running a business, which is great. But, hey, Jazz, get out of the way. It's kind of been my little baby for a long time. Had a guy ask me in one of the comments, said, I don't mean to cut your horns or clip your horn. I don't mean to clip your horns, but you're not really alone out there. Is it really necessary? Is it really necessary to have that many dogs? No. Do you really need that many dogs? I think is what he said. Do you really need that many dogs? No, I don't need that many dogs. I want that many dogs. See, look at them. And he's right. I'm not alone. I got old Big Agnes. I got Rusty Boy, Timmy Boy, Uno, Booger, Lori, P, Jazz, Iris, Clara, Jumpin' Jack Flash, and Big Al. No, I'm not alone. They're not much for conversation, but they listen pretty good. Oh, and I got Ruth back there. Man, look at the countryside. I don't know, this desert, it's tough. It's real tough. But I sure like the solitude. It's just so, you're just, watch me ride over the hill and there'll be a camp. But no, there's a lot of solitude out here, which is good. Yeah, so this last week, I was really kind of just down. I had a hard time. I kept thinking, man, there's something I need to be doing. But everything that was being done, that needed to be done, the guy who's taking over my business was doing. He was taking care of it. So I was kind of having a hard time, kind of feeling, I don't know, just feel like you kind of get to feeling almost worthless, like, dang, I don't have anything to do, or I don't. And I didn't even, it was cold this week too. I never even saddled up a mule and went out. Hey! They could be right, I guess. So I went to the office and just sat and watched YouTube videos all day, really. But I mean, there's a lot of things I want to do, and like I said in that other video, I'm going to do them. I just got to get past this little funk I have. Another reason for quitting, instead of staying involved with the business, of course I'm going to be involved with Matt, the guy who's taking things over, but I've had like 3 jobs in a row where these young engineers, and I'm no engineer, I've been doing this for 47 years, doing the cathodic protection work. And these guys, they have no respect. They have no respect for your experience, for your age, for who you are. These young guys get out of college and I don't know, they just think they know it all. And they're real good at paperwork and everything, and sometimes my paperwork isn't up to par. And I remember when I was a kid, when I was young, we had my dad, we had 2 or 3 old men that they worked with. I thought they were old at the time. Of course, my dad's 88 years old and he's still alive, and these other guys are too, or some of them are. But anyway, man, they'd be rough on me, and they would talk to me like I was an idiot, and it was always the same thing. It was yes sir, no sir. I was polite. These young guys, just not that way. They got a little bit of authority, and they're just going to I guess show their power. And usually I'm a subcontractor of a subcontractor, so I'm the low man on the totem pole. But it's hard for me when I know what the right thing to do, and I know how to do things better than what they had drawn up in their spec book and their drawings, and they won't listen to me. They treat me like I'm stupid, and I'm too old. I'm not going to put myself through that anymore. I don't have to. So now these dogs are. But now. And there's some places I want to go besides hunting my dogs. I'm always going to hunt my dogs. I want to go. I need the weather to get just a little bit better, and then I want to go to the high country, and then I want to go up to Nevada. I want to go to Arizona. See, those dogs moved it on down through there. These dogs are standing on their head. A lot of places I want to go. Getting late. I don't know this country very good, so I don't want to be stuck in here after dark. Although I do have my pack mule, and I do have some gear in case I had to stay. I'd be all right. I wouldn't freeze to death. I might get a little cold. Where are you going, Agnes? out here like this and you found some gold bars, what would you do with it? I mean, how would you cash it in? Or could you cash it in? Who would you tell? Nobody? Would you tell your wife? Your husband? Your significant other? I don't know. Could you take it and just peel off a little bit at a time and melt it down and somehow cash those little pieces of nuggets in, or whatever you melted it down to? Dang sure we don't want the government to find out about it. The greedy, I want to say bastards, but I won't say bastards, but the greedy bastards. They take it all away from you. That peak is just right over that hill over there. Not very far. I bet you'd get in a lot of trouble if you snuck in there. Honey, I'm going.
No, don't put me on video.
I'll be back in a week.
Don't put me on video.
Well then,
Take me off of video. I don't want it.